This week on Greyhound View, we have the second round of the Comerford Cakes National Puppy 525 from Shelbourne Park. We visit trainer Stephen Bourke at his kennels in County Kildare, and then on to Rockwell College in County Tipperary, where greyhounds play a part in the pupils' extracurricular activities. But first we look back at last weekend's action from Harold's Cross. Semi-finals of the Harold's Cross Bookmakers 575 Grand Prix took place last Friday night at the Dublin Stadium. There were 3 semi-final heats and a total prize fund of €25,000.
Well, here now on the way for the opening heat of the Grand Prix. In 1 we have Billabong Oz. In 2 is Property Rebel. Trap 3 is January Star. In 4 we have I Queen Closure. 5 is Swift Book. And 6 Prince Monolulu. Away they go. And first to show us trap number 1 on the inside, Billabong Oz. Going up in second, number 3, January Star, but she's running very wide. Into the bend is 1, Billabong Oz with number 3, January Star. Then comes trap number 5, Swift Book, but around the opening corners on 1, Billabong Oz. Now been tackled by number 5. That is Swift Book, who goes to the front on the inside. Here comes number 2, Property Rebel, and number 6, Prince Monolulu. But into the third bend, and number 1 leads, Billabong Oz. Number 3, January Star, forced to check at that point, as is number 2, Property Rebel. But it's Billabong Oz leads up the home straight from number 5, Swift Book. Coming to the line, number 1, Billabong Oz goes on to win it. It's close for second between 4, High Queen Closure, and 6, Prince Monolulu. The winning time, 31.78. And the result of the opening semi-final of the Grand Prix, 1, Billabong Oz, an impressive winner. Second, number 4, High Queen Closure. And third was number 6, Prince Monolulu. The winning time, 31.78. Here on the way now for the second semi-final of the Harold's Cross Bookmakers Grand Prix. 1 is Come Up Joe. In 2, the Commissioner. 3, He's the Biz. In 4, Charity Jack. 5, Bookie Burglar, and 6 is Gouline Lark. Here comes the hare, and away they go. First it shows number 4, Charity Jack, leads the bend from number 2, the Commissioner. Then comes trap number 6, Gouline Lark, but into the bend. Number 2 now, the Commissioner goes to the front from number 4, Charity Jack. They're neck and neck. Number 5 now closing, Bookie Burglar. Oh, terrible pile up there. Number 2, the Commissioner, left in front of number 6, Gouline Lark. Then comes 3, He's the Biz. Charity Jack is well out the back, but out front is number 2, the Commissioner, leads by 3.5, 4 lengths now to number 6, Gouline Lark. Then comes number 4, Charity Jack, who's flown from the back of the field, but it's number 2, the Commissioner, leads up the home straight. Number 4, Charity Jack, ran an absolute blinder in second spot. Third was number 6, Gouline Lark. The winning time, 31.72. And the result of the second semi-final, number 2, the Commissioner, coming out on top. Second was number 4, Charity Jack. He ran a blinder. And third was number 6, Gouline Lark. The winning time, 31.72. On to these final semi-final now of the Harold's Cross Bookmakers Grand Prix. Only 4 of them line out. 1 is Brick and Jack, a non-runner. In 2, Ronan's the Light, the red hot favourite. 3, Awesome Impact. 4, Fandango Vieri, a non-runner. 5, Blonde Rumble, and 6, Dog Almighty. And away they go on number 2. That is Ronan's the Light, off to a flying start. Leads to the bend from number 3, Awesome Impact. On the inside, number 5, Blonde Rumble. But around the bend, it's number 2, Ronan's the Light. He leads by about 3 lengths to number 5, Blonde Rumble. Then comes number 3, Awesome Impact, down the far side. And into the third bend, number 2, Ronan's the Light continues to lead. Number 3, Awesome Impact, gives chase with number 5, Blonde Rumble, but around the bottom 2 bends, it's number 2, Ronan's the Light. Number 3, Awesome Impact, is certainly closing in second. Up the home straight is Ronan's the Light. Here comes number 3, Awesome Impact, coming to the line. Ronan's the Light holds on to beat number 3, Awesome Impact. In third, number 5, Blonde Rumble. The winning time of very fast, 31.27. And the result of the third semi-final, the red hot favourite, Ronan's Delight, winning from number 3, Awesome Impact. Third was number 5, Blonde Rumble, 31.27, the winning return.
Our lad has great Haley pace, and it's told in the 4-dog race there. And well, Reggie's dog is a super greyhound. He's a great man in the final as well. And he just after saying to me there, he has another week to prepare his dog, so you'd be worried about him anyway. But our lad's a good chance on the night, hopefully. Hopefully he gets inside Reggie's dog again. I know he'd like to be on the inside of us, but if we get 2 or 3, I'd be happy with that draw.
And the trap draw for the final of the Harold's Cross Bookmakers Grand Prix, in 1, Billabong Oz. 2 is Awesome Impact. In 3, the Commissioner. 4 is Charity Jack. In 5, High Queen Closure. And in trap 6 is Ronan's Delight. It's an intriguing final. Ronan's Delight would prefer to be on the inside. Charity Jack would also prefer to be inside the Commissioner. It really could go any way. The likely favourite is Ronan's Delight, but he can't afford any mistakes. It should be a thrilling finale.
Also on Friday night, racing manager Eamon Mackey officiated for the last time at Harold's Cross. He now moves on to Shelbourne Park in Waterford.
Well, mixed emotions here for yourself, Pat. You're happy to see Eamon progressing in his career, but I'm sure you're very sad to lose him here at Harold's Cross.
I'm delighted that he's actually seriously going to Waterford. He deserves everything. He's worked for everything. He's done very well here. Got 2 clocks tonight. Great timekeeper. Great hurler. We will actually seriously miss him here. He was good for the place. Everybody liked him, which is very strange in a greyhound track that everybody likes a racing manager, but they actually did. Had a few rows on him and various things, you know. But I thought I would get him this hurley just to remind him that when Kilkenny played this year, you know, ball was going through holes in hurleys. So we're trying to get him right for next year, that they might win the All-Ireland or even get to the All-Ireland final. You know?
You're touching on a very touchy subject for Eamon. But Eamon, you were here 4 years. It's a long while.
Yeah, I've been here 4 years, in Shelbourne for 2 years before that. I've enjoyed my time, you know. There's been ups and downs, but by and large it's been great. I've really enjoyed the experience. People are great. The team I've worked with here, they've been top class, and you know, no doubt mixed emotions. I'm delighted to be heading south. I'm from that neck of the woods. It's going to suit me from the point of view of travel, but certainly mixed emotions tonight. I've really enjoyed my time here.
Looking ahead to some upcoming fixtures, next Thursday, the 2nd of December, it's the ongoing rounds of the O'Grady's Bar and Restaurant and Palace Foods at Galway. The champion professional confined 29.40 525 stake commences at Newbridge, while Tralee hosts the semi-final to the Dennis Brown Victory Dog Food Kingdom Derby. Rockwell College, just outside Cashel in County Tipperary, is renowned for its great sporting tradition, which include rugby, horse riding, golf and greyhounds. The man responsible for introducing the latter is Father Jack Meade.
My family back in Milton Malba, we always had greyhounds when I was young. Then I went to Africa. I spent about years over in West Africa and Sierra Leone. And I came back from Sierra Leone to Rockwell. And I wanted to get involved in the greyhounds right away because they're my big passion. And when I came back from Africa, a brother of mine, Michael, came back from the States. And down in West Clare, we started those Dalcash dogs, Dalcash kennels. And from there, I was in Rockwell, and I always bring up a few dogs from home. And I, at the moment, have 4 or 5, 6 greyhounds, and they're for fun, for me, and for sport. And kids enjoy them, and I enjoy them. So we go back a long way with dogs in my family. I was in Newport, Rhode Island for about 4 years, back in the late 80s, and I introduced greyhounds there on the campus of Newport University. And a lot of the students there were interested in them, and a lot of the teachers. And there was a friend of mine there from Ireland, he's a lecturer in psychology, Mike Malone, and he and I got them going, and some of the other teachers and professors got involved. And I was coaching the soccer team there at the time, and the soccer team would always come to watch my dogs run, and a lot of the other students would come, and people like Don Cuddy, who's now retired in Dublin, he used to take some of my dogs, and he actually got a dog into the American juvenile final for us, Mike Malone and myself. So even there we had them. So anywhere I've gone, I've really stayed close to the greyhounds. A lot of greyhound people have come out of here. It's a great greyhound area around this part of Tipperary. You know, it was Stephen Bourke of New Park Kennels, and he was graduated from here, Jason Pollard, the Heffernans here with the coursing dogs. And way down the line, there's always been greyhound people in the school. And even right now, apart from myself, the assistant headmaster, Michael Doyle, he's big in greyhounds. We have Valencia Citrat, that's very well known at the moment, you know. Kathleen Smith, whose husband owns that dog, is Dean of Studies over here. So there's a big greyhound connection in the school and a big greyhound interest in Rockwell College. I've no shortage of volunteers. I have a walking machine in there now, but I don't use it because I have human machines at the moment. But in holiday time and weekends when they're away, it's handy to have one of those things. But I have no problem. At 4 o'clock here in the evenings when school finishes, there's all kinds of people here wanting to help and bring them out and do stuff. And it's good for them, it's good for me too.
The vice principal of the school, Mr. Doyle, he told me about the greyhounds over here because he knew I had an interest at home. And he wanted me just to see the run here, and I started coming out every day then. There's not many schools in Ireland with dogs as well. It's great, like, as some students mightn't have an interest in sports and they might just have an interest in dogs, and they can come over and help out or get their mind off books.
I couldn't foresee a time where I wouldn't be in some way tied up with a greyhound, because it's part of my life, and it's a hobby that I like, and I couldn't see myself without having some interest in a dog, either having one or having one with somebody or have something to do with a greyhound. I'd find life very boring without it, because the whole greyhound culture here it's a culture that I like, and there is so much involved in the greyhound people and with the industry, and so much unwritten stuff that when you go into a bar and you meet people in there, the crack is good because you know the greyhound lingo and stuff. So it's something that I would miss very much if I didn't have.
Last Saturday night saw the second round of the Comfort Cakes National Puppy 525 at Shelbourne Park, with a total prize fund of €50,000. A competition which has attracted a huge crowd thus far to witness some of our future champions in action. Ian Fortune takes us through the highlights.
The inexperienced Senehal Sutton was made the favourite in Heat 2 for Owen McKenna, though with fast starters on his inside, he had to be foot perfect. Trap number 4, Senehal Sutton the favourite, he's away slowly, instead it's number 3, Abdu Hilza flies to the corner and leads to the bend from trap number 5, Drewby's Beyondy, on the inside number 1, Mullikash, but around the second bend, it's number 3, Abdu Hilza that leads, number 6 now, Broadacres Cash gives chase, on the outside number 4, Senehal Sutton showing phenomenal pace, down into the third bend is number 3, Abdu Hills, with number 4, Senehal Sutton closing with each stride, he's balked at that point, his drop, Broadacres Cash further trouble in behind, and number 3, Abdu Hills, turns for home in control, number 5, Drewby's Beyondy comes next, but it's number 3, Abdu Hills that wins it. Second number 5, Drewby's Beyondy. Third number 1, Mullikash. The winning time, 28.92. One of the hottest favourites of the round came in Heat 3 in the shape of Tyror Darrell, racing in the red jacket. He was certainly the one to beat. And away they go, and off to go. Number 1, Tyror Darrell off to a fly. Going up on second is number 5, Annie's Lamb. And around the bend is number 1, Tyror Darrell with number 5, Annie's Lamb. Then comes trap number 2, Born Alas. But down the far side it's Tyror Darrell and Annie's Lamb, 1-2. Then comes number 2, Born Alas. But into the third bend, number 1, Tyror Darrell, now stretching into a convincing lead over trap number 5, Annie's Lamb. Number 2, Born Alas checks at that point. But around the final bend, it's number 1, Tyror Darrell with number 5, Annie's Lamb, and number 2, Born Alas finishing fast. Coming to the line, Tyror Darrell wins it. Second number 2, Born Alas. Third number 5, Annie's Lamb. The winning time, a sensational 28.47. Fahan Emmett was a surprise drifter in the next heat, but if he came out of traps, he was going to take all the beating. The main dangers were Street of Champions in 1 and Sinatra Prince in 6. Well, the favourite for Heat 4 is number 2, Fahan Emmett, and he's away fast. It's number 2, Fahan Emmett leads from number 4, that is Drewby's Hemman, into the corner. Those number 2, Fahan Emmett that leads round from trap number 1, Street of Champions. Then comes number 3, Drewby's Jordan, but down the far side, number 2, Fahan Emmett leads by 2 lengths. Number 1, Street of Champions is closing in second and third spot. Number 3, Drewby's Jordan, but into the third bend, and number 2, Fahan Emmett continues to lead. Number 1, Street of Champions is certainly closing on the inside. Then comes number 3, Drewby's Jordan, but around the final bend, this number 2, Fahan Emmett, that leads all the way from number 1, Street of Champions. Back in third was number 3, Drewby's Jordan. The winning time, a very slick 28.53.
It was cloak and dagger in the Oak Suite of Shelbourne, where guests awaited the arrival of Susan Hennessy for her surprise party to celebrate a certain landmark birthday. Which particular landmark, of course, we cannot reveal. When serenaded by Pat Kenny, Susan, for once, was speechless.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm still speechless. I just don't know what to say. I'm just so shocked. I'd say it'll be like the 10th race, and I'll only be coming too. I'm I'm gobsmacked.
You had absolutely no idea. Kids and all knew about this and you didn't.
I will never trust another person in my house again. It'll be the Spanish Inquisition later on when I get them home to find out when and how they did it. I can't believe you actually organised it.
Well, Paul, you really got it that time. But you're going to pay for this afterwards, I think.
Not at all. I'm used to getting her, Stella. That's not the first time and it won't be the last, I hope.
How do you keep this such a secret?
I'm a very deep person. That's it. I tell you, that'll make her think of what I really have under the carpet that need never come out. I know it was quite easy actually, and would you believe everything fell into place, and it was great. I must say I was delighted myself.
Well, Susan, you thought you were coming for a normal night's racing, and it certainly turned out differently.
I had booked my seat in the corner with Tommy. I rang him. I said, Tommy, I'll be there tonight. Put my name on the seat. I'll be up. And then I was saying, God, I should have worn my coat up because it was so cold. And I said, no, I'll be fine once I get into the corner. I'll be fine. After that, it's a blur. And then I met Aidan, and on a pretense of coming up to meet somebody. And wow, that's all I can say.
Well, have a great night.
Thank you.
The undoubted star of the opening round was Droopy's Leroy, and he was made a red-hot favourite in Heat 6. Racing in the red jacket, he certainly looked to be a class above the rest. And off they go, and Droopy's Leroy off to a slow start. Instead of number 4, Cleve Hill leads to the bend from number 5, Tyra Lisa. Then comes number 6, Dalkash Viga, but around the opening bends, it's number 4, Cleve Hill that leads. Number 6, Dalkash Viga gives chase with number 5, Tyra Lisa. Number 1, Droopy's Leroy has a lot of running to do if he's going to maintain his unbeaten record. It's number 4, Cleve Hill that leads around the third bend from number 6, Dalkash Viga. At this stage, number 1, Droopy's Leroy in third, but out front it's number 4, Cleve Hill that leads up the home straight from number 6, Dalkash Viga. Number 1, Droopy's Leroy in third, but it's number 4, Cleve Hill that wins in style. Second, number 6, Dalkash Viga. Third, number 1, Droopy's Leroy. The winning time a superb 28:46. There were some very useful performers in Heat 8, but Paddy's Rooster, trained by Paul Hennessy, was made the warm favourite. He was bidding to complete a double for his handler. And away they go, and first he shows number 5, Paddy's Rooster. He bolted from traps, leads from number 3, Kyle Arney. Then comes number 1, Mary Francis, but around the bend it's number 5, Paddy's Rooster that leads by 3 lengths. Now 4 lengths to number 3, Kyle Arney. Then comes number 1, Mary Francis, but already number 5, Paddy's Rooster has skipped into a clear advantage. Number 3, Kyle Arney sticking well in second. Back in third is number 4, Park Admiral. But this is all about number 5, Paddy's Rooster. He has gone clear as they turn for home. Number 5, Paddy's Rooster, a very easy winner of this final heat. Second, number 3, Kyle Arney. Third, number 1, Mary Francis. The winning time 28:53.
Looking ahead now to next Saturday, Cork hosts the final of the Irish Examiner 750, plus the first round of the Tiny's Bud Open 550. While at Thurles, it's the second round of the Blackjack Tom Open Bitch Stake, and the Greyhound and Pet World 2-year-old sweepstake gets underway at Limerick. After studying psychology for 6 years, the lure of the greyhound was too great for Stephen Bourke to ignore. So he decided to change direction and become a greyhound trainer, which some would say may have given him a slight advantage. He recently moved from his home in Cashel and set up kennels in Rathangan in County Kildare.
It was difficult in the beginning because especially the business side of things, and training the dogs was okay, but having to run the house, the business side of things, and a lot of others. But luckily enough, I had a lot of support. The people here have been great. Pat Kelly, Donald Manning, Eugene Price, the Paynes, my neighbours here have been absolutely super. And you know, that support system has been a great help and really has got us through. We're starting to improve it all the time now, and hopefully we can go from strength to strength. I find it handy enough because it's very, very convenient to Shelbourne and Harold's Cross and Newbridge and places like that. And even for Cork and Lifford, it's quite close. Although I am travelling a lot, even though I've moved to Kildare. So in some ways, it feels like I'm as bad as I was before I came. But overall, I mean, Shelbourne is the main track that we race at, and we're much handier for Shelbourne, especially travelling home on a Saturday night. It makes all the difference to be home at a reasonable hour. Greyhound training today has become an exact science. There's so much has to go into them, so much attention. It's become very difficult to keep them right. There's a lot of viruses going around, you know what I mean? Injuries are picked up very easily as well, and these things have to be looked after. Some of these dogs cost an awful lot of money, and you know, there's owners expect results. Now, it can be a difficult game. You know, the kind of hours that go into training dogs and the unsociable hours, And you know, things don't always go right. I mean, it takes you need an awful lot of patience. But when it does come right, it's well worth it. But it can often take a long time, and sometimes vast sums of money are spent before we get results. So it can be frustrating at times, but when it does come right, there's nothing better. They all have individual needs, and that's why I only keep 17 or 20, because I couldn't physically understand each dog individually unless if I had any more than that. So the real focus is really about getting the best out of each individual dog, and you know, it's a journey, but it's always a very interesting journey, and sometimes it can be very pressurized because things don't go right when you need them to go right, and you have to have a lot of patience. But when you get it right, it's well worth it. But that's the main reason, to see the dogs running at the top level and win the big competitions. We have a lot to learn, but we're making strides slowly but surely. And the idea is to keep improving, keep working to make it better and better. The gallop it was quite expensive, but slowly but surely we've got it right. It's a sand and sawdust gallop, actually modelled on Paul Hennessy's, and Paul gives a lot of help with getting it right the first day, and it's taken a while to get it right, but we have it spot on, I think, now, and it's a good surface. It needs plenty of water and plenty of raking and rolling, but my neighbour helps us maintain it weekly, whatever, and it's working well for us at the moment. I have some great owners, Patsy Byrne, Albert Draper, and Sean Cleary. They're my probably three main owners at the moment, and you know, they've been very good to me, and it makes all the difference to have supportive owners. Borden and Gon have made great strides in the last 5-6 years. The game has turned around. Only for what they've done, there's no way people like myself and Owen McKenna and even a lot of young trainers that have banded up around us would be pursuing what they love, you know. But it's great, but there is many strides we can still make. I think uniformity is very important in the tracks, with the position of the hair and the traps and that. These are issues that we can definitely maybe improve on a small bit. But the best stride they've made this year, I think, is the distribution of prize money. I think it makes a huge difference to owners that get to a final, that they can maybe make $2.5 grand, and it spreads it around. The 10% the trainers are getting now has been a great benefit. It's helped us enormously, but there's a lot of increasing costs. It's very difficult to get staff to drive and work those unsociable hours. We're at a good level. I have some very good dogs, but we still struggle at the end of the day. It's a long process. Hopefully we'll be able to get established, but with the numbers of dogs we have, it makes it quite difficult for us to make a good living. But we're working on it all the time. This international racing is a very interesting thing as well, and I know a lot of Australians that are very interested in sending dogs to Ireland, and I'm sure we'll support their race as well. You know, in time, it's not easy, but it's something definitely worth pursuing, and there could be a great future in it.
In next week's programme, we'll bring you all the action of the National Puppy Stake from Shelbourne Park, the finals of the Harold's Cross Bookmakers Grand Prix, and the Irish Examiner 750 from Cork.
For a complete fixtures list and more information, log on to the Irish Greyhound website at www.igb.ie.